Hello and welcome to another episode of Tiva Drive, and this time around we get the chance to review the 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander plug-in hybrid. They also sell the pure gas version, but this is the plug-in hybrid and it's been much improved over the last two generations. The plug-in hybrid powertrain is more powerful and has longer range. This particular car, as you see it here, is priced at $58,000. You can get a base version for much less. This is the GT top of the line version as usual. The press cars tend to be much more expensive. The second generation, the first one that was sold here with the plug-in hybrid powertrain, which was the previous generation, started in the 40s. Unfortunately, prices, as with all cars, especially plug-in hybrids, has gone up. So even with the base version, you're just around the $50,000 mark. This one here, again, as is, $58,000, which brings it up fairly close to a lot of the pure electric three-row plug-in and pure electric cars and plug-in hybrids. So the direct competition for this would be a RAV4, but it's not a three-row. Hyundai Kia Sorento plug-in hybrid, which has also 3 rows of seats, which we reviewed recently. You can refer back to that video. So Kia Sorento plug-in hybrid 3-row, and that would be the closest competition. The Volvo 3-row plug-in hybrid SUV is much more expensive and it's also larger. So we'll show you the space inside this vehicle and to give you an idea of the space in the third row, second and third rows. This being the top of the line version, it has nicer rims, nicer interior. You have the LED lights in the front, including the fog lamps, which are kind of rare these days. Let us show you the side profile of the car. It's a brand new design. There we go. So here on the right hand side at the back, you see the gas filler cap. The charge port is located on the other side, on the passenger side of the rear. Of course, you have badging of the plug-in hybrid EV, the EV being huge letters. Let us show you the interior. You have a nice brown leather stitching as well on the graphite color seats. You have the opening sunroof, which we love, as you know. We'll get back to there. There's sports seats here, as you would expect from a SUV that has that's priced around 58 grand. It's still reasonable though for what it offers, and we'll tell you that in a moment. Lots of storage. We'll sit down inside and give you a rundown of the features on the dashboard. The two digital dashboard and the center screen, as well as the climate screen in front. And let us show you the back space here. The seat is located now, because the car is on, this front seat is in my comfortable position. I'd say that basically now I can just barely fit in here in the second row, and then behind is the third row. So as I sit here, in order to give the third row passengers, so I can pull it back. Once I pull it back to the rearmost position, then I just have enough space for my legs. It's fine. But if you want to offer space to the third row passengers, then you really have to push the second row forward, which then doesn't give much space for legroom for the second row passengers. As you can see, the seats are going to be moved forward and back. There you go. And so now you have quite a bit of space. I can pull it back even more. But at that point, so now you have pretty good legroom for the second row passengers, but you have literally zero legroom for the third row passengers. So legroom wise, definitely less than Volvo, and it seems that it has even less legroom than the Kia Sorento plug-in hybrid. You have luxury items in this version, including these sun blinds on the rear doors, and of course you have the sun blind for the opening sunroof as well. Okay, so let us give you here is the adjustment for it's a 3-zone climate, so left, right and rear can be controlled through the front, or the passengers have their own control here over the climate in the back temperature, as well as the rear seat heating. Okay, so let's try and show you the there you go. Basically, now you have to push this seat forward as much as possible in order to let someone into the third row. And as you can see, there's literally no legroom at all. When the second row seats are all the way back, there's no legroom for the third row passenger. So we tried to get in here before, and it's basically a child-like room here in the third row. So I would say 5 adults and 2 children, not preteen children, most likely would be the ideal room here. The other problem is that you have this cover for the cargo area, which only works, which can only be installed if the third row is down. And then once the third row is up, there's no space to store this cargo area cover. So you have to basically leave it at home then at that point. Okay, let's close it up. And I'll show you the trunk space. So with the third row up, you have not much space here in the back. It's a kind of a nice, decent depth, but all in all, not a lot of room for luggage. However, if you do fold the third row, then you have substantial luggage space available for you to store things in. Okay, so let us just finish up here. Let's close the rear hatch, and it does have the foot swipe function and nice LEDs in the back as well. It's a very rainy beginning of the summer of 2024. Oh, of course, the doesn't open, so what we have to do is either use our key. So let's use our key to try and unlock the charge port. No, it won't open when the car is on, so we have to turn the car off, and then you can see the charge port. And the main reason why this Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV is one of the best propositions out there. So again, let's just turn it off, and the on button is just here behind the steering wheel. There we go. Now we click open. Let's go back to the charge port. And very important feature that very few other plug-in hybrid SUVs have, and that is the fast charging option. On the left here you have the J1772 level 2. On the right you have the CHAdeMO fast charging, and we'll tell you in a moment our experience with the fast charging on this Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV. So that's about for the walk around. Let's try and get inside quickly because it's raining. It's been a pretty crappy start of the summer of 2024. Hopefully the weather will improve. Okay, let's jump inside. Okay, so here we are inside a 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander plug-in hybrid. The next generation, much improved over the last generation. We also drove last year's model, but this is the first chance that we get to actually compare it with some of the other 3-row plug-in hybrid SUVs in its category. We drove recently the Volvo, which we published, but it's much more expensive, luxurious, and larger. The only one that could really compare with this is the Kia Sorento plug-in hybrid, which we drove recently. The Hyundai Santa Fe plug-in hybrid has not been launched into the new body just yet, and we're not sure whether it will be launched or not. So Kia Sorento plug-in hybrid is the only competition in the similar price category. Okay, so the car is on right now. Let's just, there we go. Here's our consumption screen. We'd like to leave it in that. So the important thing, as we mentioned, is the car priced, depending on the version, between $50,000 and $58,000, is the only plug-in hybrid in its category that offers fast charging, DC fast charging. The only other 2 cars in our market that do offer fast charging in a plug-in hybrid category for SUVs would be the Mercedes GLE 450e, priced over 90,000, and then Range Rover Sport plug-in hybrid, as well as the Range Rover full-size plug-in hybrid, but they start at 140,000. The P510e in a sport version starts at over 140,000. And the full size will be well over 150,000. So you can get almost more than two of these. This is priced at 58. You can almost get 3 of these for the price of one of the Range Rover plug-in hybrids. Of course, the other one has much bigger battery. So the battery size here is a net of 20 kilowatt hours, much bigger than the previous generation. It's also more than the Kia Sorento plug-in hybrid. Okay, so let's put it in drive. The different driving modes. So you have the button here for the different EV modes, and this is your driving modes. Throughout our tests, we just kept it in EV. You have your basically your power mode, you have your eco, you have your normal, you have your tarmac, gravel, snow, mud, and that's about it. So we just kept it in eco to make sure that the car stays in EV mode. The other thing you can do, of course, auto hold is a good feature, so you can take your foot off the brake. Here's your EV mode button. So when you press the EV, you have your normal EV, save and charge, which is great. Not all the plug-in hybrid SUVs offer the charge mode. So you have normal, which is hybrid, EV, which is your pure EV, then you save, where you save the battery, and then charge, where you charge the battery with the engine. Here, the Mitsubishi has 2 electric motors. So you can actually have all-wheel drive in off-road mode and still be able to keep it in all electric, where some of the other plug-in hybrids would kick in their engine to provide an all-wheel drive system. What we like about this car, again, it has the digital dashboard here, which you can modify. You have your center screen here with Android Auto. Unfortunately, Android Auto is wired. There is a wireless charger here, but in order to get your Android Auto, you have to plug it into a USB. You have USB-C or regular USB-A, and then you have to plug it in order to enjoy your Android Auto. So that's about it. Here's your shifter is right here, your EV mode, and then your drive modes in terms of the all-terrain drive mode. So we are now in pure EV mode. We are in Eco, as you can see on the center screen. And let's take you for a quick drive. The auto wipers are available. The rear wiper is there, which is excellent. And let's take you for a spin and tell you about our impressions. We drove it up from Toronto on the side roads. We wanted to prove the point that you can, as with the other 2 plug-in hybrids that do offer DC capability. Unfortunately, the Mercedes, which does have this option, did not install that option on the press car. So we could not reach our lake house from Toronto, which is a distance of 150 kilometers in all electric, unfortunately. So the only 2 cars that were able to do it is this Mitsubishi Outlander plug-in hybrid, as well as the Range Rover it was a P440e, which now has been replaced with a P510e, which is even more expensive. Those cars have even larger battery. Like I said, it's 3 times the price. The battery is over 30 kilowatt hours. This one here is 20 net. So this is really one of the best deals, if not the best deal, for plug-in hybrid SUVs. Just don't expect the third row space to be available to adults, because it's strictly for children only. Okay, so were we able to do it? Yes, definitely. I did quite a bit of driving around Toronto first. So before hitting the Highway 27 to drive north, I topped it up on a DC fast charge at Ivy at Weston and 401. So I was almost full there. Then I drove it all the way to Barrie and topped up again. And you can see the pictures on our Facebook page. Topped up again at Electrify Canada. Now, I only went to Electrify Canada because we have a free charging available on our e-tron program. However, this car here offers a maximum charge rate on DC of 38 kilowatts, which is not much. So if you are gonna try and top it up en route, make sure that you're using a DC fast charger that charges by kilowatt hour, not by minute, because it ends up being quite expensive otherwise because of the slow charging speed. And that 38 max ramps down pretty quickly down to like almost a level 2 speed, which when you're nearing 80% or beyond that, which kind of makes sense. But it's still doable. Like, you can still do it even with this 38 kilowatt hour maximum speed. You can still top it up, and basically, you can see now, which is kind of strange now. The other thing that we notice, by the way, the moment you charge, you put it in B mode, it cancels the pure electric mode for some reason. So we're gonna go back to D, and then we should be able to go back to pure EV mode very quickly, hopefully. Strangely enough, if you use the shift pedals, there we go, we're back in pure EV mode. If you touch the shift pedals here to change your regen settings, or if you put it in B instead of D, which is the higher regen mode, the car cancels its pure EV mode. It goes into a hybrid mode and it turns on the engine, which is very strange. I'm not sure why that is, but anyways, as long as you know that, the way to keep it in electric, just keep it in a regular drive, in which case the car is coasting. It does regen a bit, as you can see, hopefully on the screen here. There's a couple of bars of regen, but it's very light. So do not adjust the settings to maximum regen by either using the shift paddles here behind the steering wheel, and do not put it in B using the gear shifter here. Putting it in B puts it in B3. You can go up to B5 for the maximum regen. Even with B5, it is not a one-pedal driving car, as is, for example, the Volvo XC90, XC60. In the B mode, it's a full one-pedal driving car. This one is not. It will not come to a full stop because you cannot turn off the creep mode on this car. So it is not a full one-pedal driving. We'll demonstrate it shortly when we come to the stop sign here. So you have the automatic wipers in the front, which is a nice feature. Heated steering wheel, heated front seats, heated rear seats. All the luxury items are there. You can see we're still regen, a bit of a green area here, a couple of bars on the dashboard, and there you go. So we didn't want to again put it in maximum regen, but because you can see I released the brake pedal and the car is creeping forward. So this is one of the reasons why you will never get full one-pedal driving on this plug-in hybrid SUV. Minor issue. Again, lots of people don't like one-pedal driving. We like it. My son doesn't like it. So not a big issue whatsoever. You can adjust the sensitivity of the auto wipers. So again, unfortunately, the weather did not allow us to show you the car more on the outside. It's a good-looking car. It's not a pretty car, but it's a decent car. It offers much more space than the previous generation Mitsubishi Outlander plug-in hybrid. The third row is likely better on the Kia Sorento plug-in hybrid. However, that car has a smaller battery, so a shorter EV range and no DC fast charging. So depends what you want. So our test results, we can tell you that we were able, the car at most showed around 77 to 79 kilometers. The rated range is much less than that. It's actually around 60 kilometers. We were able to actually drive it 80 kilometers in pure EV mode when it was fully charged before the engine kicks in, which is pretty damn good for a reasonably priced plug-in hybrid SUV with 3 rows of seats. So that makes it one of the best plug-in hybrid SUVs out there, and it's reasonably priced, way less than the Volvo, similar to Kia Sorento, but we have to say here that we would prefer this car over the Sorento, just because we don't really care about the third row, but we love the fast charging option on this car, and the fact that you can also charge the battery with the engine. It has a lot of the plug-in hybrids these days, like Mercedes and BMW, got rid of that function altogether. They have large batteries, well over 20, but you don't have the e-charge mode, unfortunately, available in those cars anymore. So that's about it. If you have any questions about this Mitsubishi plug-in hybrid, please do not hesitate to comment under the video. We'll try to respond to your questions as well as we can. And then, as usual, do not forget to press the subscribe button on our channel to be informed when the next review will be coming. We have lots more plug-in hybrid and pure electric car reviews coming your way. As always, we have to mention that this channel is sponsored by our real estate company, Condos and Castles Realty Inc. Check them out at www.condosandcastles.com. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you at the next review.